This is Ekaterina Smirnova and my watercolor tutorial. Let's make winter holiday postcards. For many years, I've been making my own postcards for Christmas and New Year, and they're mostly watercolor based. I have been making them for my friends and family, sometimes including even handwritten greetings on the inside. And sometimes I would even make a whole set of postcards. So I would like to show you how to make one of them. I'm using watercolor paper, which is sealed on the perimeter. It could be any of the watercolor pads. This particular block is 7 by 10 inches, and I will find a center and carefully will make a line in that center with regular pencil. You should decide on the orientation of the card, but make sure you would paint on the right side. So, for example, this is a vertical format and this is a horizontal format. For this demonstration, I'm choosing a vertical format. I will start with applying a masking fluid. All of the masking fluids can separate. You need to shake them very well prior to this. If you do not have a masking fluid, then I will also demonstrate another option. I'm taking an ordinary old toothbrush and will practice first to make splashes that will create snowflakes. So you can try it on an additional paper and see how that goes. It spreads it quite nicely. So basically, the idea of masking fluid is that you would want to reserve the areas, the whiteness of the paper that will create a snowflakes effect. I need to wait for it to fully dry. You can see they're now slightly visible on the paper. So I'm just tapping with my finger to make sure that they are dry. And now I'm ready to start painting. I will use French Ultramarine and Ivory Black watercolors. This is a nice size soft bristle brush, and I will dilute a light mixture of blue, ultramarine, and will carefully apply it and all around the paper, creating a nice margin around, and that would be the base. This is just a plain blue background, which I would like to intensify on the top with more darker blue. And you can see I'm leaving a little slope on the bottom part that represents snow. Now that my blue background is dried, I will use Ivory Black color and a small pointy brush in order to paint a tree. We need to, of course, follow the rules of nature. The tip of the tree would be much slenderer than the base. So would the branches also. As closer they are to the trunk of the tree, they will be more thicker. So no rush, take your time, create a beautiful tree, or maybe even few. There is a smaller further tree that is not as intense because it's further in the distance. And one more thing I'll do is to take also light blue color and paint on the base of the tree. Make sure that the bottom part of that blue disappears. I could use a napkin to dry my brush and remove the excess of the paint. Now I will need to let it dry again, this time very well. You can use a hairdryer too, or wait for it. So once it's dry, you can start removing all of those masking fluid little spots. They are basically rubber, so with your finger you can remove them, and maybe this is the most exciting and fun part of the whole artwork, because now you're letting it snow. If you want to make few of the postcards in the same style, this particular kind of postcard is going to be very easy for you to make and not gonna take much time. One little touch, I decided to also write the year 2019, or you can leave your signature or even write some sort of note or greeting. Once the postcard is ready, I could remove the paper from the block. There is an opening on the side or in the center of the paper block, and carefully you should just separate it. If you do not have masking fluid, you could use acrylic, white acrylic, just plain old acrylic, and squeeze some of this acrylic on a dish, add a little bit of water, and use the same toothbrush in order to create a snow effect. The reason why I'm using acrylic paint is that because it's more intense, it's more opaque. This way it will instantly create spots of white. The effect is very similar, so how about you try both? The final detail is that you need to bend the postcard in the center. I will use an X-Acto knife, but very lightly. If you press it too hard, it will cut the paper through, and you don't want that. You just need to make it easy to bend. Here you go. This is our postcard. Feel free to make a handwritten note in the center with watercolor as well. Now that you need to also pick a nice envelope. I like colorful envelopes to go along with my postcards, and there are a few options that I have here. I believe that maybe the red one and the blue one are the best options. Green doesn't work. Either one will work and will create a beautiful postcard. Happy holidays, my dear friends. I'm looking forward to teaching you watercolor next year.